Hey everyone! Welcome back. I am back today with more Kamen Rider Saber. You guys, I am really excited to see what is going to happen next. If you're joining me early today, you already know what it means. It means you are one of my awesome patrons. Thank you so much, and as always, I'm sending you up those big old hugs right through that screen. And if not, still thank you for joining me today. I'm glad you're here. I do hope you'll consider supporting me that way. The link to my Patreon is going to be in the description down below. So, wow, we got some stuff last time on Saber. It's crazy how we're like a handful of episodes in, yet we have all these characters developing backstories, mysteries to figure out. They have just really hit the ground running with this series. So we got a little bit more in terms of like new characters last time. We had seen him before, Dai Shinji, but we got to know just a little bit more about him, which I like because even from like when we first met him, I'm like, oh, I want to know more about him. So we know that Sophia called him Slash, and he said it's been a long time since anyone called me that. So I'm guessing, like, if I had to take a guess, I would say he's going to be a Kamen Rider called Slash. Could be wrong. Could just be an affectionate nickname. But certainly the way they were playing it led me to believe it's a little bit more than that. We also got a new character, Ren, who is, I don't think they said this in the episode, but someone clued me in that his Kamen Rider name is Kenzan? I don't think they actually said. If they said it, I totally missed it, so apologies. But, boy, that just blew my mind because I love ninjas anyway. And as you can tell, I'm a huge Naruto fan, and anything kind of related to that category is usually really appealing for me anyway. But boy, they just went 1,000% with not to make a 0-1 reference, but they went 1,000% with their cool factor for the whole thing, because not only is it a gorgeous design, beautiful coloring, but on top of all of that, the weapons, like the dual blade, and it looked like a shuriken, and just the whole thing just blew my mind. I cannot wait to see more of him. And I think they did a good job of like establishing his personality pretty early on as well, because we instantly had like some kind of tension and conflict between him and Toma, and I keep saying this, and I'm gonna stick by it because this is what I see when I see him. He has a very like Ryuteros from Deno kind of vibe, kind of mischievous, I would say, but you know, I'm sure with like a heart of gold and everything too. But I like that so far everyone's bringing something different to the table. You know, we have Toma, who's kind of like, I see him as like a quiet, gentle strength. We have Rintaro, who, speaking of Rintaro, like typically what we see from him is a very strict by the book kind of approach. We got something different last up, but I'll get into that in a second. You know, we have the King of Parenting, who brings a whole different vibe, and he's in a different, kind of like a different age group and everything, and just feels like we have a real variety now with all our different riders. So I really like that they can do that, and they're just not missing a beat, like introducing them all like one after the other. But I still don't feel like really confused. Like, wait, who's he again? I probably will forget names because that's just me. And if you've been watching me for a while, you know, I have no memory when it comes to names. But I feel like they're doing a good job of establishing little character traits here and there, and everyone just kind of feels like they have their own thing, you know? So let's get back to Rintaro, because Rintaro, wow, we saw a very different performance from him last episode. A very good performance. We learned, I guess, I was unsure as to whether or not they had said anything about this before, but I guess they didn't, that his master was killed 15 years. So all this stuff happened 15 years ago, and we're just kind of like learning about little bits and pieces of it along the way. So his master was killed, and he got in a battle last episode, found out person he's battling is the one who killed his master and just lost it. And I gotta say, I absolutely loved the performance. I loved, you know, kind of the quiet, no music, no anything, shot that they did of, him during that scene, and also May just kind of like taking it all in. Just a really good shot that they did. And then they had a really great like emotional scene with him. We really got to see a different side of him, I think. So against the by the book kind of, you know, we really just see him like kind of let loose. And the after credit scene with him as well was really, really good, where he just comes in, takes his books, and is like, no, I'm not going to give up on myself. So, really looking forward to seeing more of that. Everyone kind of has like a story. Everyone has sort of like a backstory that they're kind of like slowly revealing to us. And again, I feel like with how many writers we have so far, and each one has like some kind of tragic backstory and connection to this event 15 years ago, this should be very confusing, and it's not. I'm actually least confused by any of the character stuff. Occasionally there's things happening fast, and it's much more of a, than other Rider series I've seen. Like, you really have to keep up, like, with your focus. But the character stuff, I think they're doing an excellent job of kind of getting that all across. So, all right. So that being said, we have this whole thing going on with Avalon. We have all these hints with this, like, 2 dragons and 13 things. And, like, we're just about to unleash something, I think, very, very interesting. So I can't wait to see what's going to happen. Without further ado, what do you say we go ahead and jump in? Next episode. Let's go. All right, you guys, let's talk, because that was amazing. Yes, so, yeah, they just won't let up with the cool stuff on this show. Much like every other aspect of the story, we're just fitting as much in as possible in terms of, like, character introduction, story, pacing, like moving the story along and everything. And in this one, it would have been more than enough to just have, you know, the conclusion of Rintarou's arc with training, trying to master the 3 forms that his master used, or Toma reaching Avalon, and that whole thing that just happened. But no, we're just gonna put it all in there. We're just gonna put it all in there. And again, like, it should feel like too much. It should feel confusing and everything, but it really doesn't. And I actually kind of like the way that their 2 stories were, I don't know if they're exactly parallel to each other, because what Rintaro was after was something very different. But I guess you could say, in terms of, like, obtaining power that you really needed, on, like, a personal level, they were a little bit parallel. And watching it, like, happen back to back was really, really cool. I gotta say, I love the way that they did that. Can we talk about the whole King Arthur thing for a minute? Can we just talk about it? Because that whole thing, the way it was done, was so cool. Him getting there, and once again, it's his imagination that is the spark for all of this. When he just imagines and reaches out and grabs the King Arthur book. It's just so whimsical and awesome. I absolutely love it. I don't even know what that, like, shadow thing was that he was fighting, or if we'll ever, like, find out. I don't know if it's, like, anything significant, or if it's just, here's an opponent, test your new power. I don't know who the person was he was speaking with. We kind of, like, saw them. Their face was distorted and everything. I don't know if that will be important later, or if we're just supposed to assume it's, like, King Arthur or something. I don't know. But very, very just kind of whimsical and mystical, the way that they did that. Okay. I absolutely love this new book, the King Arthur book. I love that he got, like, the super, like, all the blades on the show are cool, but you know if you're getting a blade with a King Arthur book, it's going to be, like, the king of all blades. Like, no pun intended, because it is, like, all about the king. But, it's just so odd. I imagine we're going to get more of that, because they made a big deal of, like, he will be waiting for you there. I gotta imagine we're gonna get more in like Avalon, but maybe not right away. I don't know. It's really, really hard to say. Also, May and Rintarou, are they kind of a thing? I think she kind of has a thing for him, which is funny because I thought maybe they tried to do something with her and Kento because she made such a big deal about how cute he was at first. But no, I think and she mentioned before something about Rintarou too, come to think of it. I would like them together. That would be a very fun combination because he's so kind of by the book and she's so her. I love her, by the way. They showed, was that supposed to be, they showed like the blade when Slash was saying, when Daishinji was saying, just a few more minutes. Was that the same blade that we saw? Was that the one that he gets is King Arthur? It was kind of like, I couldn't really tell. Or was that a different one? I don't know. Is that like a whole other thing in and of itself? There's so much going on. Oh my God, this could easily be, like if you told me, you know, it's going to be like the mid-season kind of arc that we get to Avalon and we get into, like, that would make sense to me. And no, we're doing it in episode 7, guys. We're doing it in episode 7. They're hitting the ground running here, guys, and I love it. I gotta say, it definitely feels like we're deep into the story at this point, but we still have a lot of places we can go, and you know, it does feel like there's a lot going on, but in a good way. I really like that it doesn't feel like you know, it's over my head and like I can't keep up with it. But it definitely is one that like you can't, this isn't like a lay back and be comfy and zone out kind of series at all. Like you've got to be going every second. But that's kind of cool, and it kind of ties into the whole like following the adventure of a book, you know? All right. Oh my God. I honestly, so much happened in this. I really feel like I'm probably going to have more to say next time because I'll like go through and skim through and be like, oh my God, yes, that happened. But wow. All right, guys. King Arthur. We got King Arthur now. We've got that whole thing going on. I love it. I love it. They have not disappointed me yet with any new designs or forms or anything. They're killing it right now. All right. Till next time, guys. That was an awesome episode. I loved it. I cannot wait to see where we're going. It just feels like there's an endless amount of possibilities you could do with all the different books and everything. All right. So we still have Kento fighting Caliber back there. We've got Toma and Avalon. We've got Rintaro just showed up. When Ren and King of Parenting were fighting, so that's kind of like where everyone's at right now. Let's see what happens. I hope you enjoyed watching that along with me. I had a blast. I cannot wait to see more. You guys, thank you so much for joining me today. Please be sure to join me next time, and we will watch it together. Bye for now, guys.